So all those who were involved in the slave trade, if they wore the Christian label, their actions betrayed them.
Okay.
That they didn't adhere. In practicing that, they did not adhere to the legacy of the faith, because the faith does not promote that. Anywhere you read anything that says that Christians were involved in the slave trade, let's give it a flat chance. Let's assume it's true.
Okay.
If it's true, then I put it to you that they were not walking in the true legacy of the Christian faith.
I see.
Yes, they were not.
I see.
They were not. And so focus on the Christians who rather lived in the light of the legacy, came to Africa, preached the gospel. Why do you think they have a chapel at the castle? I was there last 2 months, Elmina Castle.
Okay.
I have the videos. Why do you think they had a castle there? Because they fought with the slave masters. The missionaries fought with the slave masters. We beg you, you can't take these people away without giving them a chance to know God.
Okay.
So the missionaries were fighting for their souls. The businessmen were fighting for their energy. And anybody who was there who wore the Christian label was a fake one. No true Christian was involved in slave trade. Anybody, any scholars will challenge me. Any scholars will challenge me. No true Christian was ever involved in the slave trade. Anybody that was involved in the slave trade under the guise of Christianity was a fake person.
Hi everyone, again today I'm here and we are still diving through history. And in the comment section of most of the videos, especially those in the castles and the forts, I see a lot of people asking and saying that Christianity is a white man religion, and the white man, he brought Christianity to Africa, and also to use Christianity to imprison us, to just put our mind in a cage and then take us away and go and sell us. So today I'm here in Accra, and we chose this Black Star Square for significant reasons. And I'm here with one of the best theologians in Ghana, and he's very vested in the Christian affairs, a pastor, Apostle Ray. So, Apostle,
yes,
welcome.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. So today, I know you are very prepared and well vested in this kind of exposition. So a lot of people would like to know you personally, and then before we delve deep into issues. Okay.
Right. So it's good to hear. It feels refreshing.
Wow.
It feels refreshing. And so it's Apostle Ray. Where do I start from?
I don't know.
All right, so it's Apostle Ray. By the grace of God, I pastor the Charis Christian Center, a vibrant contemporary church in the heart of Achimota, just behind the new plan. And then I'm passionate about the gospel. I'm passionate about Jesus. I'm passionate about Christian academics. And for that matter, I lecture in the Bible school. Okay. With focus on Bible interpretation, church history, and all those kind of things. Yes, maybe I'll maybe I'll leave it there.
Okay. So I know a lot of people are waiting to see what we have to say. So the first thing I just want us to go straight to and try to decode is that the background of Christianity in Ghana. What can you say about that?
The background of Christianity in Ghana.
And let's even say Africa as a whole.
Wow. Okay. So, like you rightly said in the introduction,
yes.
There are people who have the assertion or you rightly call it the misconception.
Okay.
Because it is a misconception.
Okay.
The reason why I say it is a misconception is because academically, I'm a theologian. I have a PhD in theology.
Okay.
Academically, there are things you cannot say.
Okay.
Because when we check the facts, there are historic facts. There are academic facts. When we check those facts, what you are saying must have been in history.
Okay.
Must have been agreed upon, recorded, studied. And the assertion or the ideology that Christianity is the white man's religion, that the white man brought to Africa to come and deceive black people and, colonize us, is completely a misconception.
Wow.
is a display of a lack of knowledge. When a scholar hears you saying that, they will laugh at you.
Really?
Yes. When a scholar hears you say that, oh, Christianity is the white man, they will laugh at you because the books and the evidences are against what you are saying.
Okay.
Christianity is not the white man's religion. In fact, Christianity was sent to the white men themselves.
Christianity was
sent to Europe through the ministry of Apostle Paul.
Okay. Educators.
Yeah, Christianity began in the Middle East.
Okay.
Where the Jews were. And then as it progressed, Apostle Paul came to the scene. And Apostle Paul now took the message to Europe. He took the message to Asia Minor. He took the message to most parts of the Western world.
Okay.
Then later, the Western world entered into missionary work after slave trade had begun.
Okay.
Now, when slave trade began, slave trade was not started by Christians.
Okay.
Slave trade was not started by Christians.
Okay.
It was started by European businessmen.
Okay.
Who, at a time in history, now, when I'm talking, I don't want to be too technical so that the average person can understand.
Okay.
So I'm trying to hold myself from using technical language and trying to sound homey so that the average person can understand. Okay. Many years after the civilization of the world had advanced, there came a time in history, we call it Renaissance, where humans advanced. Technology started birthing, art started birthing, printing press started coming out. Those ages, like the world has seen a new shift. Inventions have started. These are the times of Christopher Columbus. These are the times of Michelangelo. These are the times of these Asian people that were discovering the world in a whole new way. We call it the Renaissance. It was at that time that voyage was discovered, that they could put a ship on sea and travel on the sea to discover what is beyond the sea. Before those times, there was no proper voyages like that. So it was in those years of the Renaissance, in the 1800s, that stuff began. And then Christopher Columbus, of course, was the first person to travel on the sea, to voyage, to see what is beyond the sea. Then he discovered there were lands. There were people beyond. Brought the news back to the Europeans. France was dominating then. Brought the news back to them. And then they started, okay, what is there? They have raw materials, they have things. So the businessmen in Europe decided to also invest in the voyages so they can come and explore. And Africa was not the only place they discovered.
Where did they discover?
They discovered other places. Of course, these times the names have changed. But they discovered other places beyond Africa. They discovered other places beyond Africa. But one of the reasons why most of them moved to Africa deeply was because of the amount of raw materials, the gold, and the things that were here. And Ghana, I'm saying this intentionally because it will come there. Ghana strategically became the gateway to Africa, because when you check the map from the Western world and you are voyaging on water, one of the most accessible places that you can use was one that led in through Ghana. And that is the reason why our castles at the central region, the Cape Coast Castle, the Elmina Castle, became hotspots for slave transfers. Why? Because that was like a good place for the ships to dock. So that all the slaves that they had bought around Africa could be transported to Ghana and then would be moved from Ghana to Europe. And that's why we call Ghana the gateway to Africa.
So the gateway to Africa didn't start from
No. It was, you see, the trans-Saharan trade, the business people, so that our route was better. So Ghana was just a hot spot. It wasn't Christians that started it. It was European business people. So they came and they did all that stuff. And then through that, Christian missionaries from... Should I go deeper?
Let's go deeper. Let's go deeper.
First of all, America was founded just a few 400 years ago. Christianity has existed over 2,000 years. Let's keep that at the back of our mind. America was just about 400 and something years ago. Christianity is over 2,000 years old. Which means America couldn't have invented something that is older than it. So how did America come by? America came by when there was oppression in England.
Okay.
Religious oppression.
Religious oppression. Okay.
At that time, it was the Anglican Church that had dominated.
Okay.
Okay.
In England.
In England.
Okay.
The Anglophone.
Anglophone.
Anglican.
Anglican.
They were speaking English.
English. Okay.
Prior to that, English was not used in the church world.
Okay.
The Catholic Church was the only church.
The only church.
There were no denominations.
Okay.
There was no Presbyterian, Pentecostal. It was only the Catholic Church. Okay. And then there came a division. And then that division created what we call the Orthodox Church.
Orthodox Church.
Okay.
Which is the Anglican.
No. The Orthodox Church.
Okay. The Anglican is not the Orthodox.
No.
Oh, boy.
No.
So this, okay. No.
So the only face of the church was the Catholic. Now the word Catholic means universal.
Okay.
Because when Jesus died, he left the apostles. Peter became sort of the bishop.
Okay.
And then wherever they went and they planted churches, they put maybe a bishop there or a deacon there, one other there to supervise the churches.
Okay.
So all over the place, it was just one church, non-denominationalized. Okay. But there was a problem when they moved to the eastern parts of the Roman Empire, which comes to where the Israelites live, the Middle East, those parts, because Rome was conquering all those parts.
Yeah.
Okay. They were not familiar with the language and the culture of the European people. Rome is in Italy.
Okay.
Rome is in Italy, modern day Italy.
Yes.
Okay. And you are looking at the eastern parts. You are looking at Constantinople. You are looking at a far side.
Okay.
They were speaking a different language. They were good with Greek.
Okay.
And all of that. But Rome had made a decree over the years that the churches should all conduct services in Latin.
Okay.
Latin was the official language.
Okay.
So they should conduct services in Latin. Now, those at the East were finding problems with it because the people there couldn't speak Latin.
They couldn't speak Latin.
Yeah. There were only Greek-speaking people and other local languages. All right. So that and other factors led to what we call in history the Great Schism.
The Great
Schism.
Schism.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Great Schism.
Now, I want to ask a question before we
continue.
You see, we all know that Jesus Christ was a let's say Jew in Israel, and the apostles. That's where everything started from. So how come the church that started from Jerusalem now the headquarters is in Rome, which is in Europe?
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, you are taking me deep into church history. Okay, well, let's do this.
Because, you know, sometimes if we get to understand all these things that we don't know, then by the time you even talk about Ghana, like you already understand why a lot of people are saying that there's clarity. Because how did the church that started in Jerusalem, Asia, how come that it has evolved and now the headquarters of that same church is now in Vatican or in Rome, in Italy, in Europe?
Fantastic. So again, let me go the layman's way so everyone can understand.
Okay.
The church started in the Middle East, what we know today as the Middle East.
Okay.
Jerusalem, Syria, those places.
Which is close to Africa.
Yes. We'll come there.
Okay.
Okay, the church started there. Now, when Jesus had 12 disciples, he asked them, go to the world, preach the gospel. Everyone who believes, baptize the person, make the person a disciple, right? Fantastic. Now, the apostles, when Jesus ascended, they were only preaching in Jerusalem. They were not going out.
Okay.
Then the church, the religious leaders, the Pharisees, the leaders of the Judaistic religion, they started persecuting them because they won't have them preach in the name of Jesus.
Okay.
For them, preaching Jesus was an opposition to their Jewish faith.
Okay.
Okay. So they started persecuting them. Then they spread. They moved out of Jerusalem. And it is interesting because when you study, before Jesus ascended, he told them, you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem, in Judea, in Samaria, to the ends of the earth.
Okay.
That statement is very intentional. Most people don't know.
Okay.
Jerusalem is the capital. He said, you'll be my witnesses in Jerusalem. One, the capital. In Judea, Judea is like Ghana. Jerusalem is like Accra.
Okay.
So you'll be my witnesses in Accra, in Ghana, and then in West Africa.
West Africa.
So you'll be my witnesses in Jerusalem, in Judea, which is the bigger one, in Samaria. Now, Samaritans were the brothers of the Israelites, but because of certain long historic issues, they had a division.
Okay.
That is why you remember that when Jesus met the woman at the well, he says that, what do you, a Jew, have to do with me, a Samaritan?
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
because they were brothers. Okay. At a point, the kingdom of Israel divided 11-1 because of a foolish decision the son of Solomon made, and then they moved to the north.
Okay.
So 11 tribes gathered themselves and said, we will not be part of Israel again.
Okay.
It was left with only Judah, where Jesus will come from.
Okay.
And then that was where Jerusalem was.
Okay.
So when the 11 tribes moved away, then they created their own capital called Samaria.
Samaria. Okay.
Because the original capital of the 12 tribe was Jerusalem.
Okay.
But because of that breakaway, they created a new capital called Samaria.
Samaria. Okay.
So 12 tribes divided into 11-1.
Okay.
There is more technical than this, but I want the layman to understand.
Okay.
So 12 divided into 11 and 1.
Okay.
Judah, and then the rest of the 11.
The rest of the 11.
The 11 created Samaria as their capital.
Capital.
So you agree that they are all brothers.
Okay.
The 12 sons of Jacob.
Okay.
They are all family.
Okay.
But they divided.
Okay.
Do you get it?
I get it.
And then they created Samaria.
Okay.
So that become sort of like enemies. Now what happened was that when they dissociated themselves, they did not follow the original way the Jewish people were supposed to worship God
Okay.
in Jerusalem. So they created their own style of worship, their own form of worship.
Okay.
In Israel, it was only a Levi who was supposed to be a priest.
Okay.
But in Samaria, they didn't care.
They didn't care.
Anybody could be a priest. So they distorted the true Jewish faith.
Okay.
And so the true people who were down in Judah, they didn't like them. It's like,
Maseno.
and so they were not seeing eye to eye for many years.
Okay.
And that is why when Jesus came, he told the story of the Good Samaritan to unite the two. He said there was a man from Jerusalem to Jericho. And he was robbed. When he was robbed, a priest from Judah came to pass by. He didn't mind.
Okay.
This one came to pass by. He didn't mind. But someone from Samaria,
the enemy,
came to see and said, wow, helped him, paid everything, put him in a health facility, everything. Said, it's the enemy that came to help. The one you see as an enemy, he came to help. It's your brother.
Okay.
Jesus told that story to show that the two people are one. So he said, you be my disciples.
Yes.
In Jerusalem, in Judea, and in Samaria, which means that this message will not only stay here, it will go to those you even think are your enemies.
Okay. Yes.
Is it making sense now?
It's now making
to Samaria.
Sense. Yes.
The people you don't relate with or your brothers that you've disconnected with, you preach to them also.
Okay.
And to the ends of the earth.
Okay.
To the ends of the world.
Okay.
Okay. So they were only in Jerusalem. They were not moving. And then the religious leaders started persecuting them.
Okay.
And then they started moving. Okay. And the Bible says in the book of Acts, there is AI, there is internet, so you can easily search for these things. We don't have to be giving too many quotations here. The Bible says that, and wherever they went to, running away from the persecution, they preached the gospel there.
Okay.
They preached the gospel there.
Okay.
The one guy said, well, these people, they are spoiling our religion. I have to pursue them, kill them, and let them stop what they are doing. That is Saul.
Saul.
Now, Saul is Hebrew.
Yes.
And later his name became Paul.
Paul.
It is not the Holy Ghost that changed his name.
Okay.
It is not any revelation.
Okay.
It is simple that Paul is the Greek of Saul.
Okay. So Saul is which language?
Hebrew.
Okay, so Paul is Greek.
Yes.
Hebrew, in Hebrew is Saul.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because his ministry was more to the Greeks, so they called him, he mentioned Paul rather. It's like in our local this thing here, they say Kojo and Kwejo.
Kwejo. Oh, okay.
Yeah, some people will say Kojo, K-O-J-O. And then some people, the typical as that, you say Kwejo. The same name, but different dialect. So Paul Saul.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So this guy was the one that also tried to persecute them. Fast forward on his way to Damascus, he encountered Jesus. He had his own visitation. He picked up the ministry from there.
Okay.
And he became the person. Don't forget the question you asked me.
I know the question I asked you. How the
headquarters came to.
Yes.
So now this guy is the guy that began to push the gospel, the message, into foreign land.
Okay.
Don't forget, I told you that before this time, they were mainly focused in Jerusalem.
Yes.
Peter had gone to do some work in Rome, but it wasn't as loud.
Okay.
Paul is the one that took it there with force. So Asia Minor, most parts of Europe, Asia Minor, most parts of Europe. Paul was Rome.
Okay.
Paul was the one that took the message. They planted churches all over the place.
Okay.
But there was an issue.
Okay. What issue?
The issue was that around that time there was a political atmosphere in Rome.
Okay.
Rome was the ruling empire of the world at that time.
Okay.
The powerhouse of the world.
Powerhouse.
Just like we may consider certain countries today.
Okay.
Like America, like they are great nations.
Okay.
In those times, it was empires.
Okay.
The greatest people conquered the world. And Rome was the big boss over them. So Rome had taken over a lot of territory in the world, which had come all the way down to where Jesus was born. Jerusalem, all those places were under their territory.
Okay. That's why the Roman Empire, he said, if you don't crucify him, you are not a friend of Caesar.
Thank you. Thank you.
They told Pontius Pilate,
thank you.
If you don't crucify him,
you are not a friend of Caesar. Because let me explain that thing a little bit. The reason is because wherever Rome captures, they put a governor there.
Yes.
At the time of Jesus's ministry, it was Pilate that was the governor of Judea. So Judea was just a place where the Israelites stayed, where Rome had come to conquer. Okay. And so they were like slaves, sort of, to the Romans. And they paid taxes to Rome. That's where Matthew, the tax collector, came in. Because Matthew's problem was interesting because he was an Israelite employed by the Romans to collect tax from Israelites. And so they hated the guy. Like you are a brother.
I'm sure that's when Jesus says, follow me.
Follow me. No. And the disciples were not happy. Like this guy has been taken. He was happy, because it's over. The persecution, everything he had faced is over. Well, so Rome was the superpower. And the headquarters of Rome's affair, the headquarters of the Romans' affair was in Rome. Okay. So for anything in the ancient world, for anything to be impactful, it has to, there's a philosophy that it always had to start from Rome.
Yes. And I think it's even still the case
in our world today.
Because for everything to work, it has to start from the
capital
source,
and then move to the hinterlands.
Yes.
So Paul had the philosophy that if I'm able to get the gospel to Rome, people come there it's a capital, so people from different parts come to Rome. So if I'm able to take the gospel to Rome, then it means that when people come to Rome and they hear the message, they can take it back to.
It was a strategic
move by Paul to make sure. That's why Peter had already gone there. Peter had already gone there to preach, and few people believed. But Paul was moving strategically, like, let me get Rome. If I get Rome, I get the rest of the world.
Okay.
So you see Paul's philosophy?
Yeah,
so that is how he broke into Rome. And it led to his death because, of course, history has it that he was arrested in Jerusalem and then he appealed. That was the intelligent thing he did. He was arrested in Jerusalem by the Jewish people, the same people who persecuted Jesus and killed him. They said, this guy, we sent you to go and kill the people. Now you have come back as an apostle of the same person.
Okay.
So they started persecuting him too, just like they did to Jesus, Paul. And then they arrested him. When they arrested him, they took him to the Sanhedrin. The Sanhedrin was the local court of the people. They took him there. He said, I won't let you try my case. I appeal to Caesar. Smart guy. Because in those times when you appeal to Caesar, the local court cannot deal with your matter. They have to take you to Rome so that you stand in front of Caesar and you hear your case.
So you have the choice to decide who
will try your case.
Paul was smart.
Smart guy. And I hope our audience are getting to see how Christianity is traveling, because that's the heart of the thing. So Paul appealed to Caesar. And then Felix says that to Caesar you go. At that time, Felix was the governor. So he said, to Caesar you go. They put him in prison for 2 years. A new governor came and then he posted him to Rome. That journey took years. When Paul got to Rome, he was under house arrest. He was called. Later, he did ministry. He turned his house into a church in Rome. And preached to people there until his court case was called. And at that time, the emperor was Nero.
Nero.
Emperor Nero.
Okay.
And Nero had him beheaded.
Okay.
Okay, because he was preaching Jesus as Lord. And in ancient...
It was Nero who killed Paul.
Yes. One of the school of thoughts was that Nero killed him, historically.
Okay.
All right. The reason why it's believed that Nero had him beheaded was because Caesar was supposed to be Lord.
Okay.
Whoever was the Caesar. Okay. Caesar is not a person's name, it's a title.
Okay.
Like Nana.
Okay.
Or Hene.
Okay.
So Augustus Caesar.
Okay.
Whatever Caesar. Whatever Caesar. So at that time, Nero Caesar, he was the Caesar of the Roman Empire.
Okay.
Right. And whoever, he was the only person to be worshipped as Lord.
Okay.
So to preach Jesus as Lord in those days was an offense to the emperor.
Okay.
So when Nero heard that Paul's message was pointing to another Lord,
but not him,
he said, no, you can't spoil my mission, and had Paul beheaded. But it was too late.
It was too late.
By the time Paul was beheaded, he had done ministry for about 2 years.
In Rome?
In Rome. Planted churches all over the place.
Wow.
And that is how the gospel caught fire.
In Rome.
In Rome. And the death of Paul, his blood, like there's a saying, that the blood of the martyrs became a water that watered the seed of the gospel.
Okay.
So the more you killed them, the more the remnants were fired up.
Oh.
So Paul's death fired up the rest of them, and they took the city and started preaching. And there comes another political twist.
Okay.
Oh, and Nema we say nipa nsia de antiasia. Obegina baby akasa basa. Tra history no. That's why I said that. There are things you will say. If a scholar hears you, they will know you are not serious. You are not serious. You are just an emotional commentator.
Okay.
Your thoughts are far from history.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a political twist. Now, the political twist is that at that time, there was a struggle for power.
Okay.
In the Roman Empire.
Okay.
This has so many details. Again, our audience can go and research.
Okay.
I'm just hitting the high points.
All right.
So if you have any issues, go and research or write back to us.
Okay.
We'll answer you. We'll give you. We'll respond and give you the facts. Or we can do another video again.
Yes.
Take all your questions and answer them. This one we are just picking your interest.
Yes. And of course, I think this particular episode in the comment section, easy questions that has easy answers. You should let it flow there.
Okay.
And those that require a new episode,
okay,
we'll hammer on it.
Okay. Fantastic. Fantastic. So there was a political atmosphere then, political power struggle.
Okay.
At that time. There were people who were eyeing the seats of emperor. Like in Ghana, everybody wants to be at the Flagstaff House.
Okay.
So, in our case, Baumia, Brian, Kennedy Japan. See, there was something like that happening in Rome.
Okay.
There was power struggle.
Okay.
Like I said, there are details to this, but I won't go there. But just know there was a power struggle.
Okay.
And in that power struggle, all the people who were involved were trying to climb onto the throne and become the emperor of the Roman Empire. Okay. Please notice that the Roman Empire is not a country. It is an empire, which is everywhere it has conquered in the world. All the nations it has conquered in the world was under them.
Okay.
Egypt, Syria, all these places was under Rome.
Okay.
So the impact of Rome was not only in Europe.
Okay.
It was all the way down to Africa.
Down to Africa.
Egypt, Syria, all of those places were under Rome. That's how come you capture Jerusalem.
Okay.
And all those Middle Eastern countries. Rome is ruling. So whoever becomes the emperor, you can see the power.
The power.
And that is how they had the idea of deification. We must be gods. If we are ruling all this, if we are ruling all this, then you must call me a god.
Okay.
They learned that from Pharaoh.
Okay.
In fact, the concept of deification comes all the way from Pharaoh. Okay. Whenever they got to the throne, they felt like, who is like me? I should be worshipped.
Yeah, should be worshipped. Okay.
Passed on to the Babylonians, passed on to the Greeks, passed on to Rome.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in that power struggle, there was this guy. His name is Constantine.
Okay.
He was also eyeing the throne. So there were a series of battles they fought.
Okay.
Series of battles. All the various groups that wanted to go mount the throne were fighting each other.
Okay.
Fighting each other. Different wars. And it looked like Constantine was ascending.
Okay.
He was winning.
Okay.
Because he was a great leader. He had people behind him.
Okay.
So one of his major battles, there was a major battle he had to fight.
Okay.
If he won that battle, he'll get the seat.
Okay.
Okay. This is very strategic for me. So audience should really listen.
Okay.
Research about it. Then he slept and had a dream. In a dream, he saw a symbol. We call it, in history, we call it chiro. But the best way I'll let my lay audience understand is like a cross.
Okay.
Think of it like a cross.
Okay.
He dreamt he saw a cross that he was fighting. And his soldiers were holding a banner. And on the banner was the cross.
Okay.
We call it chiro, like a cross. And so he woke up and said, he told his people like, this is the dream I've had. This is the sign I saw. Is there any cult, any religion? Is there any of our religious bodies that uses this sign? Because I feel like the ancestors are trying to tell me something.
Okay.
Don't forget that in those times, there were thousands of cults and religions.
Yeah.
Great. Then they said, this sign you've seen there, the closest people are the Christians.
Christians.
Don't forget, at that time, if you mention the name of Jesus, you are killed. You are arrested and imprisoned. Christianity was not free like that. So they were hiding and worshiping.
Okay.
If you bring out your face, you are dead.
Okay.
So he said, it's the Christians, the people, those people who are saying there's a certain Jesus, blah, blah, blah. He said, really? Bring their bishop. So they got a bishop to him. They spoke and said, I dreamt that I saw your sign on my flag and fight. And he said, he also looking for an advantage. He said, oh my Lord, our God is with you.
Which bishop was that?
The name is not mentioned in history, but he interacted with the caucus. Hey, my Lord, our God is with you. Jesus Christ, go and fight, you win. So from where I stand as a theologian, I deduce that he also saw an opportunity to win favor.
Okay. From the Christians?
To win favor from the emperor.
Okay.
Soon to be
emperor. Okay.
Because we are not allowed to worship. Then finally, they've called me to the house of the one who can be the emperor. And he says he's had a dream. And it is our symbol. That. And they say, so he took advantage and said, yes. And so Constantine went to that war. And guess what? He won.
He won.
And when he won, he said, hey, then your God is really powerful. He said, what's up? He said, they don't let us worship. He said, from today, in the edict of Milan, he said, from today, all these people, leave them, let them worship. Everything you seize, give it to them back. All those who've in prison, release them. For over 500 years, for the first time in history after Jesus' death, was the first time Christianity became official. For 500 years.
Okay. So when Jesus died, 500
years.
BC.
Yeah, 500 years later.
Is it BC or AD?
AD.
500
years
AD.
Later, yeah.
Before Christianity.
Over 500 years later. Over.
So it stood a test of time.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, sorry. 300 years.
300
years.
Okay.
Yes. Because that will happen 325.
That's 3 centuries.
Yeah, 3 centuries. So you can imagine the number of people that have died.
Persecuted.
Not having freedom to worship.
Oh.
So today when people see Christians free today, they didn't know we have a history. A history of blood. So for the first time in the history of the world, Christianity gained official sanction. Through the new emperor, Constantine the Great. Great. Okay. Google him. Okay. You see him, Constantine the Great. He was the person that made Christianity the official faith of the Roman Empire. See what God will do.
The official faith of the Roman Empire.
So wherever Rome had conquered,
they now become Christians.
Yes.
So now the governor who doesn't have his life is now a Christian.
Thank you.
You worship what the emperor worships. So that is why
it moved from Jerusalem to Rome.
Okay.
And this is about 300-400 years.
Wow.
It moved to Rome.
Wow.
And then that birthed what we call in history church and state.
Church and state.
So those who are listening who have an idea of this, church and state uniting.
Okay.
Later it was separated because there were manipulations.
Okay.
But then church and state. So the emperor will not do a thing without consulting the Christians. So what they did was that now they elected bishops, which later transformed to become the Pope.
The Pope.
Like the person to represent us.
Okay.
All of us, the Christians. That's the Pope.
The Pope.
So the Pope now worked hand in hand with the emperor. Now the emperor will not do a thing without consulting
the Pope.
In fact, it is said somewhere in our books that it is almost as though it was the church that ruled through the emperor.
Because if you consult me for everything,
actually And it got so crazy that there are things I can't say.
Oh, let's talk. We are learning.
It got so crazy to the point that if the Pope said no, the emperor didn't have a choice. No, look at the Vatican today. It's a country on its own.
In a country.
Yes. Do you think that started yesterday?
No.
It's to show you the level of power that by the grace of God, the church rose to.
Okay.
However, for me to be a fair historian, I must state emphatically, it was later corrupted.
Okay.
Now, it became, so what was happening in the political field, where people were struggling for power to become the emperor, it started happening in the church.
And people were
struggling to become the Pope, so you can beat the emperor and control things.
Okay. Okay.
But that's a story for another day.
Time. So now we understand how the headquarters of Christianity moved from Jerusalem to Rome.
But before then, let me answer my dear friends.
Okay.
Before then, there had been mission works. I want to read something. There had been mission works that had happened way back in Ethiopia.
Okay.
Now, the Ethiopian eunuch,
Yes.
who was the minister of finance for the Queen Candace of the Ethiopians,
Okay.
received the gospel from Philip
Okay.
and took the gospel to Ethiopia, one of the earliest Christian nations before the Europeans.
Okay.
So the gospel that was right after Jesus, the few years after Jesus' death,
That's the
in
first
Acts,
century.
the first century, within the first century. Don't forget all that I've told you. We are looking at 300 years.
Okay.
But first century of the church, the message
It's
through
already in Africa.
In Africa,
Okay.
in Ethiopia,
In Ethiopia.
there were churches there. The first Bible school in the world was in Egypt.
Was in Egypt.
Yes,
Okay.
the first Bible school
In the world.
was in Egypt. The School of Alexandria. Everybody can Google it.
Okay.
The School of Alexandria.
Wow.
Yes. It was led by one of the church fathers. So, if a person says Christianity is like America or Europeans cooked and they brought it to Ghana, they don't know history.
They don't know history. Okay, now, what about Timbuktu? I don't know if you've heard of Timbuktu.
Yes. Those, this Mali, the empires, the African empires as well.
Yes, because I also read that they also have a school of theology. There was a school of theology in Timbuktu with a great library. I don't know if you've heard anything about that.
Okay, historically, we call something school of thoughts.
Okay.
In defense of, first of all, when we write our thesis, what we do is we defend stuff.
Okay.
And we explore and explain.
Okay.
And leave reference for people to also research.
Okay.
Okay, that's what we do in academics.
Okay.
Now, there are many researchers on these matters.
Okay.
Okay, when you go to the libraries or when you Google them, there are many researchers. Some of them are legitimate per the sources.
Okay.
Some of them are not also legitimate. Some of them are known.
Okay.
Some of them are not known.
Okay.
Okay. I would normally like to write on ones that are well known and established.
And established, like Alexandria.
The School of Alexandria.
Okay.
Every book you read
is there.
Is there.
Okay. So we'll stay with that.
So that becomes like the official reference when if you ask any historian on the mainstream, they will tell you the first Bible school was Alexandria in Egypt. Okay. I would not be surprised because what was happening in Alexandria was big. And there were monasteries where people were trained to preach, to become missionaries, which was all over.
In Africa?
In Africa.
Okay.
All over. Monks were all over in Africa. Before Europe.
So before
America cried
here. The capital of the headquarters will move from Jerusalem.
To Rome.
Africa
was already settled, yeah. And if it will take me back to what I told you earlier on, called the Great Schism, you guys can go and read about it, the Great Schism. You notice, I was telling you about the Eastern people speaking Greek and all of that. And then Europe, speaking Latin. And Latin was the official language. So now the Pope says everywhere the church is to use Latin to preach and to do their to do their services. And the Eastern people said, that's this. I'm talking about Syrians, Egyptians, and all. They said, we don't speak Latin here, we speak Greek. It was a contention. Amongst other things, 1078 or something, they settled. They parted ways. And then we had the Orthodox churches. And that was where the Catholic Church became the Roman Catholic Church. It was not Roman Catholic Church.
Okay, it used to be the universal.
Yeah, Catholic. Okay. The word Catholic is universal. Used by, I think, Polycarp, if I'm right.
Okay.
Universal. When that happened, now the church in Rome became the Roman Catholic Church. To distinct them from the Orthodox churches. Okay. So, you see, Orthodox priests, they wear the black. The black robe. Yes.
Okay.
And then the Roman Catholic priests wear the white.
The white robe. Why?
To distinct them. There may be other reasons behind that, but basically for layman to just distinct.
If you see a priest in black, Orthodox.
That is Orthodox.
A priest in white,
yes.
Roman.
Specifically the Eastern Orthodox Church. The reason why they said they were Orthodox. The word Orthodox in layman's term means like we are sticking to the original thing. We are, we are sticking to the old ways. We are not changing anything. We are doing it as it was done. We are Orthodox. We follow the original formula.
Original one. You are not speaking no Latin.
Yeah, we are not changing it. Because why? Another reason was because at a point, like I told you, because of the struggle of power amongst the popes as well, there was corruption in the Roman Catholic Church.
Okay. We don't want to be corrupted.
Yes, so they started doing certain things.
Okay.
For example, they started taking money for forgiveness. We call it indulgences.
Okay.
Please, if you are listening, Roman Catholic, please, I beg you, this is just historic. This is just historic. They started taking indulgences, okay, because they wanted to build temples. Okay. They needed money. Okay. So what they said, if you have sinned and you don't want to miss heaven, come and pay some money.
Okay.
So we'll plead on God's behalf for you. So God will forgive you.
Okay.
They call indulgences, amongst other things. Okay. So many things was going on. Then another thing that was dangerous for them was because now what the Pope said was more important than what the scripture said.
Okay.
So if the Pope made a decree, it was as powerful and even more powerful than scripture.
Oh.
And so the Eastern people were finding problems with all of these things. And that's when they separated. They said, we are Orthodox. We are following the apostolic pattern. We are not following all these changes and all these shifts that is coming into the Roman Catholic Church. Then later, after that 1072 schism, it gave a young man, Martin Luther.
Martin Luther King.
No.
Or Martin Luther.
This is an ancient Martin Luther.
Okay.
Not the black
Martin
Luther King we know.
Okay.
Junior we know.
Okay.
This is an ancient priest, a German priest.
Okay.
Who was also pressed with so many things. Went to Rome he was a Bible student in Gutenberg. Went to Rome to study and saw all that was happening. He was frustrated because he thought that he would find answers to his confusion in Rome. As a German village boy, studying. He thought that if I go to Rome, I would find answers. And he went to Rome and was like, the rot in Rome is even more than what is. So, like, he began asking a lot of questions. He went back to his Bible because, fortunately for him, he could read Latin. He went back to his Bible and read the scripture, for by grace you are saved through faith. It is not of yourself. He said, we have never heard this. Man of God, I tell you, prior to a few thousand years, nobody has access to the Bible. No one has access. It was only the priests. They could read and tell the people what it was. So when Luther found that, it's like, then why are you telling us that we should pay money for forgiveness? There were so many rules in the Catholic world. So he now rose up against the Catholic Church, and that's what we call in church history the Reformation. Martin Luther brought the Reformation. And it became another banter back and forth. And that became the first church to break away from the Roman Catholic Church. The Lutheran Church. Later. He woke up one morning, wrote 95 questions, went to the village church in Gutenberg, posted it there. Fortunately, by then, printing press was in the system. They printed. There was news. They couldn't stop him. Questions were coming. We are saved by the scripture says this. Why do you say this? The Bible says this. Why do you say this? The Bible says this. Why do you say this? He questioned the system. And if Luther, I like something Dr. Otabil said, if Luther had not taken that move today, there would not be charismatic and all those people.
There will not be.
So he brought the Reformation and moved. Then when the King of England heard it, he said, me too, I want to marry another wife in addition to my wife. But the Roman Catholic Church has stopped me. Europeans are very strict when it comes to marriage. The idea of one man one woman is very European than biblical.
So
We'll come there.
you know, guys, we are learning.
It's like a lot of information is here, and it's just coming.
Information, and I think we have to digress and we'll come back because there are some, sensitive things that when you touch on it, and then viewers are expecting more. And then if we don't talk about it, a lot of people are disappointed. So now, the idea of having one wife, is it biblical?
No, you see, what we call biblical, and this is I will need a whole hour to give a lecture on this. But again, we are making room for viewers to ask questions. And then later we come back. When we talk about what is biblical, okay, we must understand that biblicology, so something biblical, is founded in two roots.
Okay.
It is what the culture within which the Bible was set did versus what is established and ordained by God.
Okay.
The highest thing that is ordained and established by God is the gospel.
It's the gospel. Okay.
Okay. Now, when you put the gospel aside, the Bible was written in a society. People with their cultures, with their way of life. Okay. And so you see that they practiced all sorts of things.
Okay.
All right. But you notice that God's focus in the Bible narrative is the redemption story. So the Bible doesn't give credence to most of these things.
Okay.
However, society evolved to the point where laws were made to make sure that society was functioning well and embedded deep in European culture. Not in Bible culture, because the Bible is not deeply European, especially the Old Testament. It's more Jewish.
Okay.
The origins are Jewish. And in the Jewish culture, multiple marriages were allowed. Now that's not divine. I'm talking about culture.
Culture.
So when you say biblical,
okay,
divinely, we know that God made Adam and made Eve and asked them to, replenish and fill the earth.
Okay.
That is the standard reference point.
Okay.
However, you see society mutating and making laws and changing these things to fit their own setting. For example, when you read about Nimrod, one of the first great leaders of earth, who tried to build the tower and all of that, he took for himself many wives. We see those things as perversion. That's not, we don't see that as the divine order, but more of culture.
Okay, so in divine order, one man is supposed to have one wife.
Okay, for the sake of easy understanding, let me say yes.
Yes. One man, one wife.
Yes.
Okay.
You see, the reason why I said for the sake of understanding is because if I break that down, you will understand that how many wives a man marries or a woman marries, it's not God's interest.
Okay.
You see, there are things that are left. There are things that are left in the hands of men.
In the hands of men.
So these things are more regulated by the culture within which you fall.
Okay. It's not God's interest.
It's not God's major interest, like you must marry one, if you marry two, you will die. Like, it's not God's interest. That's not God's focus.
So what's God's focus?
God's focus is that men will be saved.
Men will be saved.
Salvation. That's God's focus.
Okay.
So if you have 1,000 wives, the focus, if you can handle those 1,000 wives, praise the Lord.
God doesn't have a problem.
He doesn't have a problem
He
with
just
you.
told you that it's
No, okay.
one.
Notice, for example, that David saw Uriah, Uriah's wife.
Yes.
And then went for her. Had Uriah killed. That's a terrible thing. Terrible thing. Now, when God came to David to rebuke him, what did God tell him? Interesting. He said, you are the king of Israel.
Why didn't you ask me?
And the king, you have the right. You see, so God was referring to culture.
Okay.
You have the right as a king to take as many wives as you want.
Yes.
So why do you have to go and kill someone to take that? If you, as a king, you could have even told Uriah, from today your wife is no longer your wife.
It's my wife.
It's my wife. And nobody could say anything. Because when Israel was asking for a king, God told them, do you see how kings rule in the heathen nations? That is how the system is. Do you like it? He said, yes. He said, he will take for himself your wife and your children, your lands and everything. That is the system. That's
the system.
the human system.
Okay.
And God respects the system.
Okay.
These are things that
yes.
Christians have not been brought up to understand.
Okay.
God respects our human institutions.
Okay.
The president we vote for is the person we vote for. It's not God's choice. It's our choice.
Okay.
And God respects it.
Okay.
So God came and said, if you wanted more wives, in addition to you should have asked me, and I'll give you that liberty to marry as many wives. In fact, Solomon had 300 with 700 concubines.
And actually,
God didn't.
Solomon is a product of that.
Yes. God didn't. That's not God's interest.
Not God's focus.
But because God respects the culture, so the believer or the Christian or whoever is there should also respect the culture. And like I said, this idea is deeply embedded in European culture. European culture respects one woman, very deep. In African culture, it's not like that.
Okay.
Jewish culture is not African, even in Islam.
So is it that the Europeans are, massaging the African mindset, or what actually?
It's controversial.
Okay. So now I want us to go to 1471, okay, where Pedro de Escobar and João de Santarém, you see, these were Portuguese.
Yes.
And they arrived at Elmina.
Yeah.
And when they arrived in their voyage, because at that time Christianity has evolved and they were Christians, they came, they built the Elmina Castle, and they were having their trade, and they also built a church there. And now church has entered into Ghana, right? And now many people, because of that, and because maybe for reasons that I don't have answers to, Ghana was not has not seen Christianity before. And then the Portuguese started Christianity. Now, slaves, if you go to the Elmina Castle, you see that this is female dungeon, this is male dungeon, and the chapel is right in front, and all the agony is happening, and they're also having service and then all that. Now, the idea has been distorted. Many people don't even know the history that Christianity was here. Now, in 1471, a new wave has arrived, and now these two gentlemen has, come. So now, after this, how do we feel? How are Ghanaians assimilating this both history? And even a lot of our Americans and people don't know a lot of the things you are sharing, and they believe that they did us a favor by bringing Christianity to us. And the African or the Ghanaian also think that they brought Christianity to change our mindset. Like, people have issues with so many things that they think came from the West. How is that?
Assimilate?
How do we assimilate? How do we deal with that?
Okay, thank you, sir. You see, what we were talking about before you asked this question, I think set a very good foundation for this discussion.
Yes.
Culture versus God.
Yes.
It sets a tone for this.
Yes.
Because if we don't appreciate culture, we can't appreciate the place of God. Often we mix the two, and that is where one person thinks, I'm doing you a favor by bringing God's knowledge to you. And the recipient thinks that, no, you brought me God's knowledge to manipulate me, because it looks like my culture is being affected.
Okay.
And therefore, the people must be taught even the impact or the progress or the change of culture over time.
Okay.
Let me start from England again.
Okay.
England king wanted to marry another woman.
Okay.
Broke away from the Roman Catholic Church, and then started the Anglican Church.
Okay.
So they could speak English as well.
Okay.
Anglophone.
Okay.
Right. Yes.
That's King James.
No, Henry.
King Henry. Okay.
Yes. King Henry.
Okay.
Now, out of the Anglican Church, there was persecution. There was persecution. And so a few of the people, English people, moved to look for a greener pasture. And that's how they found America.
Okay.
So America was founded by Englishmen, Christians, yes, who wanted a new place so they could worship God.
Okay.
And that's how they founded America.
Okay.
So you see that the America's motto is in God we trust. It was founded on the faith of Christianity. Okay. Now, the missionaries took advantage of the early voyages, like you were saying,
yes,
which was exploring the world. And they realized that when the businessmen came, they were doing business. They came to take things from Africa and took it back to feed their factories.
Okay.
They needed raw materials. And they found that Africa was a dump site of raw materials. So that's where business for them. Then the church elders in Europe says that why don't we also take advantage of this
system,
ship that is going and coming, bringing black-skinned people to us to come and work on our farms and things. Why don't we also take advantage and go and preach the gospel to these people? Because they also need the gospel. It's like internet. When internet came, or Facebook, and Facebook came and all the social media platform came, people were saying, oh, it's from the devil. The devil, whatever. And later, now it has become a tool being used to promote the gospel. So when the ship was on water, going and coming, the church elders thought that this could also be a good opportunity for us to explore, because our Lord told us, you will be my disciples and witnesses in Jerusalem, in Judea, and to the ends of the earth. So why don't we join these ships, go to these people that have been brought here, and help them to also know this Christ? So that was where the Christian missionaries joined the trans-Saharan slave traders, so they could come to these parts to preach the gospel.
Okay.
They were not the slave traders.
They were not the slave
This is what I want everybody to know.
Okay.
Because they say slave masters are the ones that bring it. No, they were not the slave traders. In every place, there are good people and there are bad people. The people that sponsored slave trade were European businessmen,
Okay.
kings, people who wanted resources to feed their machines.
Okay.
They were not Christians.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
I want to ask another question again. Now, in 1452, Pope Nicholas V issued papal bulls, including Dum Diversas, right? And Romanus Pontifex, you see. And all that it was saying is that African man is less of a man and can be sold as a slave. That legally granted Portugal the right to enslave any non-Christian people they encountered in Africa and beyond, thereby providing religious and legal justification for the beginning of the transatlantic slave trade.
What's the citation? What's the reference?
Yes,
the reason why I'm asking of the reference,
I'll give the reference. The reference is Dr. Alison Wells, www.medium.com.
Okay.
How Pope Nicholas IV used the church to start the disgraceful slave trade.
Okay. So the reason why I asked you the source is because you remember that earlier in the conversation, I told you that when it comes to academics, there are researches we do.
Okay.
And every research seeks to back a thought.
Okay.
Okay. For example, if I want to do a research to prove that shooting here is bad, I have to look for information, event, activities. Even if a child was walking here and a child fell, I have to make that story look such a way that it fits into the narrative I'm trying to peddle.
Okay.
Okay, in research, that's what we do. So we find facts, we find evidence, sources to prove, to make a case. Okay. Not every researcher has a good goal. Let me say, not every researcher has a good goal in mind.
Okay.
For example, a researcher who wants to make it look like Christianity was part of slave trade, they will find anything and everything, skew it nicely, and present it such a way that it supports their case.
Okay.
I'm into academia, so I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
It's the same way a person who wants to also prove. So what we do in this, that we look at the facts and the end results.
Okay.
Okay, we look at the facts, compare all the facts and the end results to determine whether this person is saying is genuine or the person is trying to make a case for their bias.
Okay.
In this case, I can boldly say I've not read this material.
Okay.
I'll go and do some findings on it and find the person behind it and their school of thought.
Okay.
Once I do, I can be able to tell whether it is a bias.
Okay.
Because Missionary
By the grace of
by the grace of God, Missionary, and from the many books I've read, from the many researches I've done,
Yes.
the Christian missionaries did not come to Africa for slave trade.
Okay.
Neither did any pope order or any bishop order or make a slave trade official.
Okay.
No, I've not seen it.
You've not seen
However, this lady could be making a reference to a statement. For example, in the case of the Crusades, there are narratives that are passed to make it look like, oh, Christianity is bloody. Christians were fighting wars and were killing people. They are peddled by anti-Christian organizations.
Okay.
But when you read the story, they can find the actual things that say, no, they have taken the truth, twisted it a little, so that it will suggest, for example, like, okay, you are in a red outfit right now.
Yes.
If I want to tell a lie to someone about you, I can send the person a picture of you and tell the person that you have done ABC.
Okay.
And then if you send a picture of yourself this day to that person, you will be wearing the same outfit.
Yes.
I will also send a picture of you and me to that same person wearing the red. I said, the person was wearing the red outfit. Am I lying? He said, oh, yes.
Yes.
So once I got your outfit right, it will therefore indicate for the person, if he's weak in mind, to think that therefore everything I said is true. Because he's seen a picture of you and me standing. She didn't get to hear anything we said. I've been able to also confirm that you are wearing a red dress. This is the man I'm talking about in the glasses.
In the glasses.
I know what I'm talking about. Oh, he did this. Because I got your outfit right, and I have a picture to show that we were both standing, I can make a case, and you don't have to defend yourself.
Okay.
So that's what happens when theories are being formed.
Okay.
Depending on where the person creating the theory is coming from, they find the closest events, closest statement, tweak them a little bit, beef them up, so that it is to make the narrative. And as I said, I'll check this woman and check her bias. Her philosophical bias. If she's anti-Christian, I'll not be surprised. Because it's possible that if she's anti-Christian, she can skew that narrative a little bit, just to prove the point in research that there was once a pope who even gave that. But if there was once a pope, let's do analogy, philosophical analogy. If there was once a pope who said that, did all the popes before him do that? Did all the popes after him do that?
You know,
so that makes your argument, that makes her argument. One person, like you say, you do something when say someone says all men are bad.
All men are bad.
Or you broke a girl's heart, and then somebody say you were the originator, or you are the originator of breaking men's heart. You are the reason why all men are breaking women's hearts. So even if that pope, which she mentioned, did make that careless statement, which seemed to suggest that he was in support of the slave trade, his only opinion on action doesn't justify the rest. Because at that time, the Orthodox too were there. Thank you. The Orthodoxies were there. So you can't take what a Roman Pope said to describe the rest of Christian faith.
The people who said, we will not follow the status quo.
Yes.
Like, we will not follow
this. We will not follow this.
We want to be authentic.
Yes. So you cannot use one man's statement.
Who were already in Africa.
Africa already.
So they didn't actually bring anything.
No. You see, the
reason I'm saying this is because, like what I just read, almost every American who knows he or she is a descendant or as a result of slave trade knows this. And it's a weapon that all of them
weaponize.
It has been weaponized. You see, I've been privileged to go round, like in Ghana here, everywhere that a major slave event or minor slave event happened, I've been able to go there. And the history is the same. Like if you go to Fort Pleasanton in Keta, and in the fort, it's a shrine. So they were worshiping, and they said the Europeans came, this, all that, but they denied us of our worship. They brought Christianity. If you go, it's everywhere. Even in Osu Castle here, it's there.
The Europeans didn't come to deny us of our worship.
And one of the things that everybody used to back everything they say is this article.
So that means that.
So it means that we have to really take a close look at this article.
So I will read on that extensively, so we can have another conversation on it. So I can dissect. You know, in academics, there's something called rebuttal. If somebody can write a thesis, you can take the thesis, look at it, check all the facts, write a rebuttal. You know, because bring other facts on board. The reason why this thing does not hold, anyone listen to me. The reason why this does not hold alone, because you can't take just this evidence against other evidences contra to support a claim. Two, you do not use one person's assertion. Let's say this is true. Pope did that. You do not use his action There are so many unbelievers, non-Christian, who did evil things in the world. Have we used their actions to judge the rest of the people who are not Christians?
No.
No. So why, if you use one pope's actions to judge the entire faith, you are being unfair.
And
you are being biased in your judgment. You are being biased in your judgment. It shows that you are only instigating enmity for the faith.
Okay.
If you want to be sincere, address the fact that what this pope said and did as a Christian was unfounded and not right.
Okay. And another thing that, you know, I would also say is that this incident was very direct to the Romans and the Portuguese, right? Now, it means that if, let's say that, I mean, this is a school of thought. Let's say that if it was really true, it only happened with the Portuguese.
Thank you. We call it occurrence. It was one occurrence.
One occurrence.
And in science, you don't use that to, you know, even when they're making medicines for people, they say they want 99.9 efficacy.
Yes.
0.00001 error margin.
Error margin.
So you cannot use the 99, the 001 error margin to be the truth and ignore the 99.
Okay. So now what do you say about that assertion? Is it that, okay, even if he said it, or let's say that the few or some of our brothers, the Black Americans who were greatly affected, that have this, you know, mindset, and some Ghanaians and other Africans who have this mindset, what do you have to tell them?
Christianity is anti-slavery. Christianity is anti-bondage. Christianity stands for liberty with God and liberty with men. Christianity throughout the scriptures and historically, those who practice true Christianity, not the false ones, have always emulated these facts. Our Lord Jesus Christ made it clear that if you didn't visit those who were in prison, who were less privileged, if you didn't help them, you've not helped me.
Okay.
Indicating his close association to the people who are marginalized.
Okay.
Women, for example, were not esteemed in the ancient cultures of the world. Jesus changed that narrative by including women in his disciples, having close ties with women in his ministry. The early church did same. Several scriptures written by the early apostles indicated how masters ought to treat their slaves, even in that world, and how slaves ought to honor their masters. In fact, records have it that one of the reasons why some of the Romans did not like the idea of Christianity was because it seems to have given room and mouth to the slaves. Don't forget, slave trade didn't start with Africa alone. No?
Okay.
Even France was once a slave to another country.
Okay.
So the Christianity sort of was seeking to break that margin so that both those who say they were elites and those who were slaves could come together. A classic example is the book of Philemon.
Okay.
Philemon.
Okay.
One chapter. Because Philemon was a friend to Apostle Paul.
Okay.
He was a rich man who had servants or slaves. Then one of his slaves, called Onesimus, stole from him, hurt him, and ran away. And he got him arrested and thrown into prison.
Okay.
Fortunately for Philemon, the prison where they threw Onesimus was where Paul was.
Okay.
So Paul preached the gospel to him and he became converted. And Paul was doing ministry with Philemon. So after Philemon had served his prison term, he had nowhere to go. And through conversation, Paul discovered that, you are from the house of my friend Philemon.
Okay.
You're from the, okay, let me write to him. And that's what brought about the book of Philemon.
Okay.
So Paul wrote to Philemon, said, you owe me your life. Before God and between the two, you owe me your life. And so do me this one favor. Take back Onesimus. This time not as your slave, but as a born son, a fellow believer. That's a deep challenge.
Deep challenge.
So Christianity broke that margin. And what will Philemon do? This is a guy who has hurt you. He's in your house as a servant, hurt you, stolen from you. You've got him arrested. He goes to prison and he go and meets your spiritual father, who is also in prison because of preaching the gospel. He converts him and he said, I'm sending him back. Receive him. This time not as a slave, but as a son in the Lord. If Christianity was promoting slavery, we won't see these things in the scriptures. And so some records have is that one of the reasons why some of the elites, Roman elites and rich people hated Christianity was because it sort of was bringing everybody to the same. But in those days, society was not arranged like that. It was like the rich, the poor, the free, the bond. But Christianity was breaking that status quo so that everyone can flow. And so I'll say to these people, one, those narratives are not true. Number two, what Jesus stands for is proof that Christianity or the promoters of the slave trade were not doing so in the spirit or in the name of Christianity. You can meet a police officer wearing police uniform with police patches, stopping you, duping you, and you realize that wasn't a true police officer, though he was wearing the uniform. Though he was carrying the license, even if he's a true police officer, his actions betray his heart. So all those who were involved in the slave trade, if they wore the Christian label, their actions betrayed them. That they didn't adhere. In practicing that, they did not adhere to the legacy of the faith. Because the faith does not promote that. So it's like you have children, you have a bad child who is doing what you, the parent, didn't teach her. It will be wrong for people to say that you, the parent, are bad. No, it's not you. It's the child that is failing to live up to the standard of you, the parent. So if there were Christians, anywhere you read anything that says that Christians were involved in the slave trade, let's give it a flat chance. Let's assume it's true. If it's true, then I put it to you that they were not walking in the true legacy of the Christian faith. Yes, they were not. They were not. And so focus on the Christians who rather lived in the light of the legacy, came to Africa, preached the gospel. Why do you think they have a chapel at the castle? I was there last 2 months, Elmina Castle. I have the videos. Why do you think they had a castle there? Because they fought with the slave masters. The missionaries fought with the slave masters. We beg you, you can't take these people away without giving them a chance to know God. So the missionaries were fighting for their souls. The business people were fighting for their energy. What they wanted were men and resources. But the missionary came, they were fighting, we beg you. So it was a conversion. And when you read oh my God.
So the church in the castle
it's even
was actually the missionaries begging the slave masters to give
these people a chance
to know God before they take them wherever they want to take them.
Because they knew that some died on the ship. And would also at least before the person would die, give the person to know Jesus. And that's how they fought.
So which means that the history even at the castles has been distorted.
Yes. It
has been distorted to make it look like the slave masters were actually Christians and they used to worship God while the people were there.
No. I didn't. Okay, we'll do this again. And if it comes to the conversation, then I'll put some facts there. See, there are names. Most of these names, you check, most of them are not Christians. And anybody who was there, who wore the Christian label was a fake one. No true Christian was involved in slave trade. Anybody, any scholars will challenge me. No true Christian was ever involved in the slave trade. Anybody that was involved in the slave trade under the guise of Christianity was a fake person. No Christian was involved in it. It's a fake person. It's a false beast. It's a sheep, a wolf in a sheep's clothing. Because the true missionaries, when they came with help. They came with love. They came to see a people who were impoverished, a people whose lives was nothing to write home about compared to what they had there. And they sought to make their lives better, bringing proper education, proper assimilation, bringing medication, and the word of God for hope.
That the message hope is not lost.
Yes. The message they brought was not to entrap these people. In fact, some of these missionaries took pictures with some of their shrines. They didn't come stepping on their shrine. This is what you believe, but we are bringing you something that will give you hope.
You know, as you just mentioned shrine, right? Then again, my last question I want to ask you, and I want us to talk about, and then another time we'll continue.
I would love to do this again.
Because now, as you mentioned shrine, you see, what's the difference between like Christianity and African religion or traditional religion?
Okay.
What's the difference?
What we call African religion is just a Mesopotamian tradition. Idol worship didn't begin from Africa.
Okay.
It began from the early civilization of Mesopotamia.
Okay.
Way back, thousands of years back.
Okay.
Which evolved. And in fact, if you give me the opportunity one day on this channel, I'll come and give you a proper written history, documented history of idol worship from beginning till now.
Till now.
Till now.
We will do that.
So that you will see that how the gods got their names. How they were worshipped, how it transitioned from Mesopotamia, how it found its way into all and metamorphosed. And now there are even forms of idol worship, which you won't go to the shrine.
Okay.
It has gone through a metamorphosis.
Okay.
I will give you the opportunity. I'll come and give you a clear rundown. And it will shock you when I begin to show you the similarities between Asian practices and what we call African traditional religion. See, nobody... Should I make this bold statement? Nobody in Africa owns or invented any African traditional religion. Nobody. And I said, I speak as a scholar.
No, so what you said, I interviewed one guy, historian. He said they came from the Mesopotamia, all those sides, and they came with a religion that they worship one God, which just looked like the Israelites' religion and all that. And when they were coming, they didn't have any God, like these lesser gods or whatsoever. They had none. But when they met the Fantis, they were having bumper harvest from like the fishing and all that. So they inquired from them, they said they have a certain God that gives them the harvest. So they bought the spirit.
We buy
they want the spirit. So that's why. So when that spirit, that deity, like when the spirit come, the deity, even though it's a God deity, the deity speak Fanti. So they have other deities and other things that. So maybe it's not maybe. So what you are saying just confirm what he said. That they brought their religion from, I think Mesopotamia is like the Middle East. So that's where they brought their religion
Asian,
from.
the names of...
And the dangerous also came from there. Asantis, I spoke, probably came out from Dentra and other tribes. They also came from Mesopotamia. The Akwamus, also Mesopotamia.
You see,
Bunu,
because
everybody
because you know the reason why. Because the civilization of the world... Let me just make this crazy statement so that it will let people think. You know, the civilization of the world, man, what? Nobody's a Ghanaian. Nobody's a Nigerian. Nobody's an Ivorian. Nobody's an Ashanti. Nobody's a Ghan. Nobody's an Ewe. We are humans who have evolved and labeled ourselves.
Which is true, because I asked myself...
We are humans who have evolved and labeled ourselves. God didn't create an Ashanti. God didn't create a Ghana. God didn't create a Nigeria. We are just humans who, over years and time and experiences, have caused us to group ourselves, evolve, label ourselves, found a culture, cut a niche for ourselves, and say, this is who we are. We identify ourselves by language and by practice, and this is what we do. So, what we call tribe is man-made, not God-made.
Because God made man. Not tribe.
And man made tribes. When God created man, he didn't create man with Gucci and Prada suits.
No.
Man was naked.
There was no kente.
There was no kente. There was no fugu.
There was
no batakari. But over time, we evolved to animal skin, to linen in Egypt, to cotton, and it's been evolving, and now fashion has evolved. God didn't create all of that. Man, in our own ingenuity, there was no trousers, there was nothing. We created all these things and gave ourselves that identity. That's the same thing with idol worship. There is nothing like African traditional worship. It is not there. It is man-made. It is man-made. The only faith we know is that God made was the Christian faith.
Why? Because when God created the world, there was no Christian.
And Christian faith, I say, because it points man back to God without mediums. Check. Any other man-made religion, it points man to God through a medium. If you have 100 children, and I do a DNA test, and I find that only one has your blood, that child is your child. You may have called the rest your children for years, but by the tests, your blood is not in them. So though you have called them your children, they are not yours.
All right. So Apostle, you know, we've gotten to another interesting part of this whole thing, but then I think that if we want to go on and on and on and on and on, we'll keep going.
Let me say this one before we go.
Okay.
African traditional, what we call African traditional religion is man-made.
Okay.
It's not God-made.
Okay.
The reason why I say it's man-made and not God-made is because it's just a culture, an attitude, a pattern, a worship system that was picked, created by men, and passed on from generation to generation. And everywhere it got to, they made it their own, found their style for it.
Okay.
So when it got to the indigenous Africans, we also took it and made it our own and called it African traditional religion. Isn't God that said, my children in Africa, this is how you have to worship me? No, it is man that made it. What God made is John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. So that man can have access to God without medium, without animal sacrifice, with nothing. Just call God your father, love on him, live your life, flourish and succeed. That's what God intends for man.
I see. You know, this is what I say, that sometimes I just come fresh as if I know nothing, just to learn, just to help you. And today Apostle Ray has just shattered the things, and
Mercy.
you know, like, and these are years of academic studies with wisdom attached to it, right? And we can't finish it here today. But as I say, we are going to come back again and have different interesting things. I think the next time we're actually going to be 2 or 3. Yeah, it will be like a panel. I promise you, it will be like a panel. Fun. 2 or 3 people. And I would like to have like an African scholar, you know, like African studies man, or a traditional, because you're also a pastor. Aside the fact that you've studied everything, you're also a pastor. So we need to be fair. We need someone who practices the thing, and then another side, another religion. I will not say it. It will be like a shock. Everybody will see, and then we'll just go into some of these things, because I feel that sometimes failure to learn makes a lot of people follow emotions to take certain emotional decisions, and then your life is wrecked. Do you understand? Like a lot of decisions are based on emotions and how we feel. But I think it's about time we use this, because there's a reason why we have to think. There's a reason why the things has been written for us to learn.
Say, I tell people that assume that God is not involved. God is not involved in anything in this world. And religion is just a product. Christianity is a product. All the other religions are products that you can just enter and choose which one you want. Assume that assumption. Let every religion present the dynamics of their package, a product.
Okay.
And you, on the grounds of intellect, I tell you, you will never go past Christianity. When we present the product and its offer, and you hear what the others have to offer, you will not go past Christianity.
So I think that is what we are going to do. People, present your product.
Yes, present your product.
And the offer.
And let's see what people will choose.
Let's see what people will choose. And I promise you this, it's going to happen sooner. And we're going to watch. And like I said, as Africans, we are telling our story the African way and how it's supposed to be told and how we are supposed to think. Thank you very much for staying with us. So, Apostle Ray, what's the final word? I always ask everybody, because maybe there is something that I'm supposed to ask, I've not asked, or you're expecting me to ask, I've not asked. What's the final word to everybody? A lot of people are watching. I have millions of views from cross-platform. So many people are going to watch. Many people are going to be educated. What do you want to tell everybody watching you?
What I want to tell we've had an interesting conversation. It's gone through all the corners and all of that. That is not all there is to it. We've spoken and highlighted things, and later we'll go deep into them. And I will tell everybody that, number one, Christianity is not the white man's curated religion to deceive black people. It is unscholarly. it is unfounded. It's more emotional than what is proven fact.
Okay.
Secondly, I tell everyone that God loves us so much, and that is why He's made all the efforts so we could get to know Him. This very conversation or this interview you've chanced on was not by accident. It is still God's way of trying to get you to think out, like as our host said, think outside the emotions, think outside the biases, and make an intelligent decision for yourself so you can experience the love of God. That is all what Christianity is about, the love of God. And I bet you your life will never, ever, ever be the same. If you're able to look through all the ethnocentric wars, biases, and just get what God is trying to put across as His love, your life will never, ever, ever be the same again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you very much. So guys, stay tuned and I'll keep surprising you every day, everything. And I don't even know what to say. Like, as you can see, I'm trying to
Process.
assimilate some and process a lot of the information that has been received because, come on, it is a lot. So guys, I'll see you again and I'll come your way with another exposition. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.